Good evening, and welcome to another episode of The Take here on the College Football Mafia Network. I am, of course, your host for the evening, Moen, joined by my co host, Becky Go Huskies. Becky, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, Mo. I'm doing good.
Okay, yeah, well, Sergeant Pickles should hopefully be joining us a little later. He may be running behind. He's getting in the swing of things. He got the keys for his new house. Congratulations to him there. But we'll go ahead and jump in while we're waiting for Sergeant Pickles. Let's say hello to some people. I see we've got some early people in here, so let's talk to them. Bob Swanger, Penn State Nittany Lion. He says, "Hi, everyone. Good to see you, Bob." Sean says, "Hi, guys. Good to see you, Sean. Thanks for stopping by." Caden the Diesel Freak. How's it going, College Football Mafia? It's going. It's going. Been a busy week. Busy week. And then we got Becky says hi. Okay, we're
I
gonna.
can get my high in there a little.
Okay, okay. No. That's fine. That's fine. We're gonna jump right into it here. We're gonna talk about a few things that happened this week in college football. Try and cover some of the top games, the top stories. We usually do around 10 of them. Greg says Golden Gophers 30, Golden Bears 27. Let's go. Thank you. I will make sure to put the bet on the Golden Bears to cover. Way to go, Greg. Thank you. I already got my parlay set early this week before the lines moved, and I'm glad I did. But we'll talk about that on the Big Freaking Friday show. We'll go over that. Let's jump right in here. Some of these stories. Story number one, the big matchup of the weekend, or what was advertised as the big matchup of the weekend. The Sooners stampede the Wolverines. The Michigan Wolverines go down to Norman, Oklahoma, and lose 24-13. Not a good day for Bryce Underwood. Only 9 of 24, 162 yards passing, no touchdowns. He did have one sack. As John Mateer, on the other hand, was 21 of 34 for 270 yards, a touchdown. He did have an interception. He was sacked twice. He also added 19 rushing for 74 yards. That dual threat really benefiting the Oklahoma Sooners. Interesting stat about this game is Oklahoma held Michigan to just 3 total points in the first half, marking the first time since 2019 that the Wolverines were held to 3 points or fewer at halftime. Becky, did you get a chance to catch this game? What did you think?
I did, and they shut out Michigan in the first half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Michigan, outside of the one big 75-yard run, which was really, really good, by the way. Like, that hole was huge. I was like, good Lord. That was just a great run. But outside of that, it was all Oklahoma. This is a tale of two quarterbacks, one with experience, one with little to none, essentially. Mateer looked like he'd been playing for years, and he has been. He's been on the bench at Washington State, and he started for a year there, and he looked like a college athlete. Whereas, Underwood's just figuring some things out, and again, this is not an environment I would want to put a freshman quarterback in their first true road game. But yeah, it's just a tale of two different quarterbacks. I mean, the big positive is Bryce Underwood didn't have a turnover, which, but
I agree, but there's clearly some maturity issues with Bryce Underwood. The confrontation he had on the sideline with his receiver, having to be separated by the tight end. John Mateer just looked like a leader out there. He led the Sooners down the field. Sooners defense, really good. Brent Venables, I always said he was a great defensive coordinator. I just didn't think he was a good head coach. I still think that is to be determined. I don't know how good Michigan is this year. I know everybody is singing the praises of Bryce Underwood. Agree, 5-star talent. We'll have to see how he develops and matures. But very impressed with Brett Venables. Very impressed with the Oklahoma Sooners. They might shake some things up here.
Oklahoma's going to shake up the SEC. I think. I didn't think they were going to be this good. I figured they'd be really good on offense, but I thought their defense was still going to be kind of like a work in progress. But no, they're legit.
Yeah,
they're good.
And this is a game that Sharon Moore did coach. He is suspended for the next 2 games due to the NCAA violations. Sean says Underwood didn't look like he has enough dudes around him to succeed at a high level. I don't think Amazing Blues here in chat, but speaking to Michigan fans, Sharon Moore, he might be on a hot seat because the offense in his first 2 seasons so far has not looked as good as it did under Jim Harbaugh. But not that it looked great under Jim Harbaugh, but competent. Let's put it that way. Did not look as competent.
I mean, he's not going to run the ball 100 times on a great team like this, like he did against Penn State a couple of years ago when Harbaugh was out for his suspension. But no, I just they ran the ball well. I mean, they had the one big 75-yard run. And we could go, well, they might have scored anywhere over that 75 yards. But outside of the one big play, their offense was terrible at times, just non-existent for the most part. I mean,
yeah. And
12
you're right.
first downs is it's not good.
It's bad. It's bad. And I don't want to take anything away from Oklahoma. I think their defense is really good. But this was the first true challenge for Michigan. It's on the road. Came up short.
Yeah. Oklahoma had 2 turnovers. They had 2 turnovers, and they still won by 11.
Yep.
That's an ass kicking, essentially.
Fergie says, have a good show. Off to shopping and dinner. We'll listen later. Be nice to my Buffs and our new old QB. Sco Buffs, Fergie, you'll be glad to know the Colorado Buffalo game did not make it into the top 10 this week. I apologize, but there were some people in front of you who did really well and some who did really, really bad. And we're going to talk about. Sean says, I told you guys to look out for Oklahoma this year. Sean, it's only week 2. We won't jump ahead. We won't overreact yet. But, we'll see. I think Oklahoma could shake up stuff in the SEC. DB Cougar, Charlie Kirk, RIP. Yes, it's terrible when anybody gets shot. DB Cougar, that is a great username, though. Yep, not good when anybody gets shot. All right, moving on to our next game. Duck Hunt. Oregon scores. And you may be asking yourself, why can't I read those stats? Because that's how many Oregon Duck players touched the ball. Oregon played 3 quarterbacks in this game. They had, I believe, 13 receivers with a catch. They had several rushers. This is just Oklahoma 3, Oregon 69. We talked about it. I think the war of words between Mike Gundy and Dan Lanning this week led Dan Lanning to go ahead and just pour it on. I think the spread was 27.5, and they easily covered that. We were talking in our group chat in the 4th quarter, I believe, where they just kept quarterback for Oklahoma State through back-to-back pick sixes. And I said, man, they're going to score 60. They're going to score 70. They're going to score 80. This is just Oregon is really, 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 really good. Really, really, they're great. We'll see how they do in the playoffs. But Oklahoma State, Gundy, it may be time.
I'm laughing because it's so bad to think about. Like, I watched part of this game, and I want my time back. Oklahoma State owes me some time. God, they didn't even show up, Moen. They didn't show up. It's bad.
Well,
it's horrible.
No, they didn't execute, but I think Oklahoma. Listen, Oregon's got a $40 million roster. Oklahoma State don't, and that's just being overmatched. Just completely overmatched at every single position, offensively, defensively, and special teams. The Ducks gained 631 total yards on just 62 plays. That's an insane 10.2 yards per play from the Oregon Ducks.
I want to point out, Oregon only had 2 drives longer than 7 plays.
Yes. Every snap was essentially a first down for Oregon.
Yeah, they averaged 10 yards a play. It's insane.
And it wasn't just their offense. That defense just shut Oklahoma State down. Turnovers, just, sacks. Not a good day for Oklahoma State.
No.
I have to question Gundy remaining there. I don't know if they give him the option this season to do, maybe come out after they lose the next game and say, hey, I'm going to retire at the end of the season, and kind of give him some dignity, because he has been one of the best coaches at that school, and he probably deserves that respect, but it's passed him by, I believe. What do you think?
I'm agreeing with you. Look, when he talked about Oregon's roster, I knew then, and I said in our chat, I was like, they're going to get blown out. Like, they're done. Like, Oregon's already won the game mentally. And, this is coming from a coach whose team has been given close to $1 billion, according to some reports, from a deceased booster who, by the way, gave a donation 4 years after he died.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point you have to sit there and you have to ask the question, when Oklahoma State benefited from T. Boone Pickens, go back in time, they literally benefited from that $600 million donation that he gave 20 years ago. They absolutely benefited from that. You could see their trajectory take off.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably been about 6-7 years since Oklahoma State was on the verge of getting into the BCS playoff system.
Yeah,
the 14 playoff system.
Yeah, 2023 or 2022, they were a yard away.
Yes,
from winning the conference.
and Jim Knowles had just shut down defense there, and I don't know, it's just slipped him by, but I agree with you. It was hypocritical of Gundy to bring up money and NIL. He has reaped the rewards of T. Boone Pickens for many, many years. And
to top it off, I mean, Oregon's had the same billionaire booster for 30 years, and they just took off with it. It's nobody in the Pac-12 complained about Oregon, and whatever they were doing. And I'm not saying that Phil Knight ever paid players, because there's no proof he ever did. And I'm fairly certain that Oregon's always ran a really good, they've been very open and honest about what they do with the program. When they screw up, they report it, and they just accept punishment. They've always kind of been like that. But no one's ever found them to be paying players like Washington or USC or UCLA back in the day. But to sit there and complain about, they have a $40 million roster and ours is $7 million. It's Oklahoma and Texas were both in your conference during NIL era.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be saying that about would he back out of playing Bedlam because Oklahoma's got a $40 million roster themselves?
Yeah, listen.
That's my question there.
when I say Oregon has a $40 million roster, I'm not saying that in a
No.
derogative sense.
No.
Listen,
no.
Ohio State had a massive 30 million something roster last year when they won a national championship. If you're the Oregon Ducks, you have been as close to the mountaintop as you can get over the last 20 years. And Phil Knight's getting older, and he wants to see that team win a national championship in football before he dies. So I'm not blaming them for going out and doing everything possible. Dan Lanning is an interesting dude, and we're going to talk about Dan Lanning here in a little bit. Sean says Oklahoma State looked like a bad FCS program. They did.
Yeah, they did. And I said in our chat, Mo, and remember I said in our chat, I said no Power 4 team should get beat this bad by any other Power 4 team. Period. Like as bad as Vanderbilt was years ago, like in the last decade, they never got beat this badly. And they got beat pretty bad a few times.
Well, I look for Oregon to continue this trend this weekend in Chicago at Northwestern.
It's gonna be bad.
I think they're blowing the doors off of everybody, or at least trying to blow the doors off of everyone they play this season.
I think they realized the best way for them to succeed is to just beat teams. At some point, you have to ask yourselves, who's the better team, us or them? Why are we playing down to them? Let's just play at our level and have that. They got a match.
Yeah.
At some point, you got a match. So.
Clint Moses, resident Oregon Beaver, says all my homies hate the Ducks.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I wonder why. Sean says, I wish A-Rod would open up the offense a little bit. He looks great with what I've seen, but not enough to make a decision. Listen, guys, I said it last week. I thought Stanford was the worst team in the P4. I might change that to Oklahoma State.
I said that Oklahoma State might be one of the worst ones. I picked them dead last in the Big 12. I feel very good about saying they are.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. Oklahoma State has a win. Stanford doesn't.
No. That's the big key.
But there. it was interesting that, BYU could only put, I think it was 24 points up on them. So
yeah. If you ask anybody who watched that game, the Stanford defense was impressive, like really good, impressive. I was like, they just don't have a quarterback.
From what I heard from BYU fans, it wasn't that the defense was impressive. It was that BYU's offense was anemic under A-Rod. Oregon plays in Stillwater 2026. That's going to be a bad one, too.
Can you imagine they do this in Stillwater? If Gundy's still coach, he ain't going to be coached by halftime.
And we talked about this a little bit on Sunday. I don't even think that the worst performances this past weekend was Oklahoma State.
No, I would agree with you on that.
Among P4 teams, Among the
P4, yeah.
I put it on Virginia Tech. That second half, they absolutely quit on their coach. Brent Pry has just completely lost that program. I know Virginia Tech fans just say I hate on Virginia Tech, but
no, I mean it's Virginia Tech. I'm used to Beamer ball. That's what we grew up with.
Yeah, well, you were used to them being even in their down years, you could expect Virginia Tech to win 6 or 7 games.
Yeah,
and now they've lost back-to-back games to the SEC. They lost to South Carolina. They lost to Vanderbilt.
I think it's how they've lost these 2 games that has me questioning everything. Especially South Carolina was a tight ball game, and you give up of all the things that Frank Beamer was really good at with Virginia Tech with special teams. I've never seen those special teams that bad. And then they give up a punt return. I was like, oh.
Yeah, it's bad. They need to figure that situation out. Illini Ted says UCLA also looks completely lost. I agree. We're going to talk about UCLA.
Talk about them.
We're going to talk about them. Let's move on to the next one, Becky.
Yeah.
Same kick, same Cyhawk. I love this statistic, this little piece of trivia. Kyle Conradi hit a clutch 54-yard field goal to beat Iowa in 2024. He also hit a clutch 54-yard field goal to beat Iowa in 2025. Back-to-back years, he has the game-winning field goal from the exact same yard. Incredible. Great game between Iowa State. It was back and forth. Iowa State had the ball last. Iowa State was able to get the score. Iowa State, I mean, they're not flashy, but they're winning.
No, they're not like what you would expect from a Big 12 team. Big 12 teams throw the ball like they've never heard of the run. Not Iowa State. They're going to run it. They're going to run it well, and then they're going to play stout defense. I'm on, this is one of the ones I watched start to finish. But somebody pointed this out to me. Gronowski has the same stats through 2 games as last year's quarterback.
Cade McNamara.
Yeah. That's not good. That's not good. That tells me that your offense, the offensive coordinator, I thought he went too conservative too early. He just never got out of being conservative.
Yeah. And they tried to rush the ball in Iowa State. They filled the box. They stopped the rush. I think their best receiver had 22 yards, was the longest pass they completed. I saw Iowa fans after the game on Twitter burning Gronowski jerseys.
I got news for him.
Yeah. It's not his fault. It's the mentality at Iowa. It's Kirk Ferentz's mentality. It's always going to be his mentality. It's no different than like at Ohio State. I mean, it's Ryan Day's offense. Brian Hartline calls it. Chip Kelly called it before that. But it's his offense. So Ferentz is the same way. He's
playing a prehistoric offense.
He is
not flashy. It's not unique. He's playing a West Coast offense, and it's not even a modernized version like Kansas City Chiefs run a modernized version of the West Coast offense.
And the problem is they really don't ever have great receivers. They got great tight ends. They got great backs. They've got great special teams, but they never seem to get a speedy receiver. It's just
they got size and length at receiver. They're not fast.
Yeah.
They basically have about 20 Mike Williams running around out there. I'm talking Mike Williams from USC, Mike Williams.
Yes, they get jammed, and it's just they get covered too easy. Again, this is another. I think the Ferentz situation is just like the Gundy situation. If you're Iowa, listen, Ferentz is always going to win you probably 6 to 8 games every season. Is that good enough as an Iowa fan? I mean, if that's good enough for you as an Iowa fan,
that's what you want.
Sign Ferentz to a lifetime contract. But if you guys want more, you're going to have to probably move on for Kirk Ferentz. And I'm not saying Kirk isn't a great coach. He is. He's the longest serving head coach, I believe.
All of FBS.
All of FBS. Yeah, it's like 23, 24 years at this point. But hey, it might be time to move this along.
And I mean, let me say this. If you're going to play the way Iowa plays, you cannot play a team like Iowa State who has an NFL kicker.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Iowa State's not flashy either, but Iowa State's smart with the football. They're smart in their play calling, and they don't do anything. They don't make mistakes. They don't do anything stupid. So they want to play this game. They want 16-13 because they have an NFL kicker.
They want to play ugly because they can win ugly. And I mean, great point. Rocco Beck only threw for 134 yards in this.
Yeah. They didn't run for a ton of yards. They barely hit over 100.
Yeah.
They weren't they just grind. that's what I was like. You watch the game and both teams are running the same offense, and you're like, I trust Iowa State's more because they have a kicker.
I trust Iowa State's more because I think Matt Campbell, his offense, you're right. It's a little more modernized.
Slightly,
but yeah, I mean, just don't make mistakes. That's what they play to.
They sound football. They don't hurt themselves. They don't get penalties. You know, when they do get a penalty, you're like, oh, it's an obvious penalty. But like that interception, the pick, which I think it was a pick 6, or got him way down there deep. I can't remember. I mean, that defender baited Gronowski into throwing that football and then just jumped the route.
Yeah,
it was. I mean, it was beautiful. Like the defense had him fooled, and he threw that ball and just like, oh, there's a little red blur and he's down streaking. I was like, you got to be kidding.
UCLA also looks completely lost. We're talking about it.
Talking about that.
Vanderbilt is going to beat South Carolina. Might be right. South Carolina, it's if their QB, if you can contain their QB, he is basically 80% of South Carolina's offense.
Yeah.
Beating unranked Iowa and KSU makes you the best team in the Big 12. Well, we'll talk about some of the other Big 12 teams coming up. They didn't do so well this weekend. Just heard from Pickles. He is not going to be able to make it tonight, guys. Again, moving issues. So we will get him in here next week, I promise, even if we have to chain him to a couch or something. But yeah, Big 12. Hey, look, Iowa State ranked 16.
I mean, they might be the best team in the conference. I mean, we don't know for sure, but they're playing like it.
Actually, Bob, there's several SEC programs I haven't been impressed with. Me as well.
Yes.
There have been, like, Ole Miss, again, struggled with Kentucky. That should be an easy win for an Ole Miss team. And
that's not a good Kentucky team this year.
It's not, but I'll tell you what's great. Kentucky, ultimate dick move, make sure that they cover.
Yeah, I like the apology from Kiffin after that. Yeah. The backdoor cover.
They kick a field goal for the backdoor cover to deny anybody who bet on Ole Miss from winning.
It's messed up.
Taking the under in an Iowa game is the safest bet on the board.
Yeah, unless they're playing like Michigan or Ohio State, because for whatever reason, they just get blown out by them.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
It depends. Yeah. If it's Kinnick Stadium at night, Iowa usually really, really, really plays up to the competition.
Yeah.
But if you got Iowa coming into Ohio Stadium, don't bet the under.
I mean, you can bet the under on how much they're going to score, but
yes. I want to say Iowa needs to move on from Ferentz. If they do, they need to not completely change their identity like Wisconsin did.
That's the problem. They have to change their identity. Their offense is prehistoric, guys. Like that offense died 20 years ago.
The problem is they can't do a sudden change.
No.
You have to do it gradually. And I think that's where Wisconsin screwed up. He went in there and said, we're going to do this all at once. Here's my OC, and I'm going to get this guy and this guy and this guy. He didn't have the guys to run that offense. And whoever comes into Iowa, even if he brings in 50 new players, probably not going to have the dudes to run that offense. It's going to have to be a gradual thing.
No.
You've got to build the program. And Fickle has failed to do that at Wisconsin, unfortunately.
And trust me, as somebody whose roster literally turned over 60 new players, you don't want to go through a season like that. I think Washington might be the exception to the rule right now because we're the only ones that have finished with at least 6 wins. Everybody else has been terrible. You don't want to go through it.
Rock and Rant says, wait, Florida lost. You don't say. We'll cover it, Rock. Just
fuck.
Jackson Johnson says, "What's up, CFB Mafia Nation? Alabama bounced back this week. Good for you, Jackson. Good for me too, because I took them with the points.
Oh, they did cover, didn't they?
They did cover. They
Cover.
did cover. I pray y'all aren't covering the Beavs game. Stats look good though. We're not covering Oregon State's game.
No, but I will say this though. Oregon State proved that you need to have 2 long snappers on your roster. You cannot get away with 1. You have to have 2.
Timothy Green says, "Good evening, college football fans. Hello, Moen and Becky Go Huskies. I would like to say what's up to Daniel and everyone in the chat. Thanks for stopping by, Timothy Green. Unfortunately, we will be covering the West Virginia game. I'm sorry, sir.
Sorry.
Winning ugly is the Iowa way. Tell Ferentz the RPO isn't a run punt option." That's a very good one, Sean. If you ain't punting, you ain't winning.
I mean, he runs the old Pete Carroll offense. Run, throw, punt. Maybe you get 8 yards, maybe you don't, but you're going to punt because your defense is okay-ish. Which, again, the Iowa defense is still good, by the way. It's still good.
Timothy Green says, "I can tell you who's not going to do very good in the Big 12 this year, and that would be the West Virginia Mountaineers. Hate to say it, but you got to tell the truth when it's there." Yeah, I wasn't expecting too much out of. I know a lot of people got hyped about Rich Rod, but he doesn't have the players to run his system yet. So
no, he had to. That's one of the times where you go, he has to dismantle it to get it right. That's one of the few times you can say a coach has to dismantle it completely to build it back up, because I mean, it wasn't good.
Illini Ted says, "Barry Odom is 2-0. He is the first Purdue coach to start his tenure with 2 wins since 1916. Holy hell. Congratulations to Barry Odom. I didn't like that hire, but
I didn't like the hire either, but I mean, like, that feels very odd because they've had a lot of coaches, Mo.
Yeah, that's true. But they've got USC this week. I think USC, even with some of their less than stellar play selection,
they're going to come back down to earth this week. So.
Yeah. It didn't help us when we lost our star running back and our best wide receiver, as well as this year. They're out for the season, y'all. Yeah, don't hold it against me, Timothy, but I jumped all over that pit line on Monday, I believe it was Sunday or Monday when it came out.
What was the line?
The line when I jumped on it was like 4.5. Pit. Now I believe it's 7.5 pit.
Ooh.
So that was a case where you jump on those lines early.
Yeah.
Penn State did well beating USC on the West Coast last year. Yeah, I think that was the best game Penn State played last year, and they had to come back. There were some fantastic receptions by Penn State receivers in that game. All right, let's move on to the next game. Gators get gored. Here you go, Rock.
Here you go, Rock.
University of South Florida is now 2-0 against ranked teams this season. Knocked off Boise State week 1. They now knocked off Florida in the swamp, 18-16. Billy Napier. Florida had 30 total penalty yards on USF's game-winning drive. The spitting call gave USF 15 and an automatic first down. The pass interference gave USF 15 yards and an automatic first down. They basically spotted them over a third of the yards on their final drive to get to a field goal. The kid who spit, I think that's going to go down there in college football sicko history as like the cleat eat. You remember the cleat eat?
Yeah.
In the swamp with all the fog. I think the kid's spitting. I don't know what they're going to call it yet, but man, USF 17 and a half point underdogs in this.
Oof.
Win 18-16, outright win. Billy Napier, I don't know. I know everybody screams he can recruit. If you ain't winning with the kids you're recruiting don't mean a whole hell of a lot.
The spit is the dumbest penalty I've ever seen outside of last year when I watched a Washington player run off the sideline mid-play to celebrate.
I don't know. The cleat eat was pretty dumb.
Cleat eat was dumb. Like this is these are up there, and why is Florida going to have two of these basically? But like the spit was just so stupid, and it was at a bad time. Like you had them in a spot. They were going to have to make a decision. They didn't have a first down. They had to make a decision. What are we going to do? You just handed them the first down.
I take it back. There was a Michigan-Ohio State game a few years ago where a Michigan defender untied the Ohio State running back's shoes at the bottom of a puddle. That was pretty bad too. That was a pretty dumb one too. But
still,
yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, like, South Florida should not have won this game. But Florida was like, here, you know what? We're going to gift you this because, we don't have anybody tough coming up or anything. The rest of Florida's schedule's brutal. Just brutal.
Yeah, we did a poll on Sunday to see how many games people think he's going to last before he gets fired. People think he's going to make it 8 games before he gets fired. I don't think he makes it to 6.
I think he gets fired, but they let him coach the rest of the year. So
I don't know.
I don't know what his buyout is.
I don't either, but I think Florida boosters are ready to pay it.
I think. Well, I mean, they want Urban Meyer to come out of retirement. I'm like, what do you think that would cost them? Like 12 million a year, 13 million a year? Like, good Lord.
Jacober Cat with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Jacober Cat. In 2018, Iowa chose Spencer Petras over Zach Wilson and Trey Lance for Rent's preferred personality type. Great for center and middle linebacker. Terrible for gamer QB. Yeah, Zach Wilson and Trey Lance, they ended up not doing very much in college football. Right?
No, not at all. Nothing.
Those guys weren't top first-round draft picks. Now, they may not have panned out, but they were still top first-round draft picks. And Spencer Petras, I think he's working at AutoZone now. So, yeah, I don't get it. I mean,
I'll be blunt. Had those two gone to Iowa, they're working at AutoZone. Spencer Petras is probably playing in the NFL right now as we speak.
Yeah, just it wasn't
it's not
wasn't good.
It's not good. They're just not good at developing quarterbacks, but it's like it's because their offense is not developing quarterbacks. Their offense sucks. Say that.
Yeah. Thank you for the super chat, Jacober Cat. Here you goes a little sounder. This is what I think when I think of Iowa. Just cannot get it done. But this is, man, I don't know. And Florida's got a tough game this week. They got to play LSU. They've got the Texas A&M on the schedule. I think, if I'm not mistaken, 5 of their next 6 opponents are ranked.
Yeah, they're all ranked. Like, I can tell you who it is. So I was just looking at it a minute ago. Hold on. Because it's not easy. And I'm just trying to find what his buyout is. Yeah, his buyout is $19 million after the season. All right.
You're right. Maybe they let him coach the rest of the season just to
get rid of him.
Yeah. But
Florida's next game, LSU. At LSU, at Miami, home with Texas, at Texas A&M, home with Mississippi State, home with Georgia, and then they end the year with Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Florida State.
Hell, is there a win on there? Mississippi
That's,
State might be the closest you're going to get to a win.
Until they play at Kentucky. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
That's it. The only two ranked teams remain on the only other games not against ranked teams, two of them. Mississippi State at home, Kentucky on the road. Everybody else is ranked. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the top 10. Good luck, Florida. Good luck. You had to win this game.
Clint Moses says, I blame Oregon for starting the spit trend. Yeah, that's just nasty. I never.
And what he's talking about, what's his face putting on that Boise State player.
LeGarrette Blount.
Yeah, started that brawl.
Yeah, and I didn't start a brawl. He sucker punched the kid. I mean, snuck him. The dumbest thing is when someone throws a punch when the other guy has his helmet on. Hey, could be worse. Somebody could have their helmet off, and somebody could be trying to club them with it.
I mean, the coolest thing you can do is rip the helmet off a guy and hit him with it. So,
yeah.
I mean, I've never understood why you're going to punch a guy in the face while he's wearing a helmet, but each their own. Same.
Illini Ted says, even though he's a Buckeye alum, Alex Golish is a fun guy to root for. I liked him when he was on the staff in Champaign. A lot of people mentioning his name for the Florida opening should Billy Napier get fired. But hey, Illini Ted, at least this year, Billy Buck here. We get to restart that rivalry, at least for this year. Florida has the longest streak of not getting shut out. Napier kept that going, losing to the Beavs 30-3. My main concern with Florida would be, if I'm a Florida fan, Billy Napier can recruit like hell. When Billy Napier gets fired, listen, the DMs, the DMs are going to get slid into by probably 50 to 60 other coaches for some of these kids. And I don't know, you could lose some recruits, makes it even harder for the next guy coming in.
I mean, half the SEC is going to be like on half your players.
Yep. They might be right now. I mean, there's kids committed right now. Yeah, they're already telling them. Double overtime drama in Dallas. I love this game. This game helped me hit a hard parlay, a miraculous parlay. Final and double overtime, Baylor comes back to beat ranked SMU. This was a hell of a game. Just, I mean, back and forth. This reminded me of an old Big 12 game. Just points. Boise State, or Baylor, excuse me. Keep saying that. Baylor is down 14 points with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Come back, score 14 points. Managed to stop SMU from getting any more points. It goes into overtime. I believe it takes Baylor like 2 or 3 plays to get a touchdown. SMU comes right out, throws a touchdown. SMU, they hold them on the next overtime, double overtime. Kid misses a real easy chip shot field goal. Felt bad for him. But then, you know, I remembered that I had Baylor in the points. And Baylor went down, kicked a field goal, won the game. Big win for Baylor. They bounced back off that Auburn loss. SMU had their hopes on the ACC championship. I mean, quarterback was phenomenal. I don't want to take anything away from that quarterback. The quarterback from SMU, awesome. Game changer. But the defense from SMU, it's going to get real rough when you're going against some high-powered offenses.
Yeah, and they have – I was looking. They have a couple of them on that schedule. It's going to be like neither one of these teams can play defense. I mean, I knew Baylor's defense wasn't great watching them play Auburn, but like They didn't give up a ton of points to Auburn. You know, like this one was just like they had to claw back into this.
They
That's
did.
Like the
And
worst thing.
yeah.
Like-
Jennings, the kid from SMU, is just outstanding.
Yeah.
16 of 22, 72% completion ratio, 295 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did have 1 interception, but holy hell. He also rushed for 16 yards. So, great offense.
Good. No, their offense is legit, Moen. That's a playoff offense. That's not a playoff defense.
I agree, but as the old adage goes, defense is what wins championships.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing missing would be Sawyer Robinson having another like 100 yards rushing, and then I'd be like, oh, it's basically just RG3 out there. Like this is what the Baylor scores look like back in the day with RG3, if you remember.
Mr. Sip, a Mississippi State fan, says, Hail State. Hey, Mr. Sip, I got a great thing for you here. Hold on, let me find it. You're going to enjoy this, Mr. Sip. Oh, that's not the right guy. Where did I put that guy? Well, maybe if people would stop moving things. Here he is. So check this out. I got a free pack of autographed football cards. It's one of those gold strike cards where you get 3 cards in there. They're guaranteed to be autographed. Look at this. It is a ruby red penmanship limited edition Ole Miss Elijah Moore rookie card from when he was drafted in the NFL by the Jets. You may say, well, Elijah Moore hasn't done a whole lot in the NFL. That's true, but Mr. Sip, you probably remember this, and this is the reason I am going to get this graded. This is the guy. We talk about stupid penalties. Elijah Moore was the guy from Ole Miss who did the pantomime dog pissing on the field goal post that pushed Ole Miss back for an extra point that they missed and allowed Mississippi State to win the Egg Bowl. So Elijah Moore rookie card autographed. That is for college football sickos right there. The other 2 cards were nobodies as well, guys who were out of the NFL, but this was a good one. When I looked up Elijah Moore because the name sounded familiar. I remembered the guy. So that is a great piece of Mississippi State memorabilia there, but just college football sicko memorabilia there. I think I'm going to try and get this framed with a picture of him peeing on the goalpost.
That's one of the all-time greatest blunders by a mile.
Yes, we're talking about dumb penalties. Talking about dumb penalties. That is one of them.
You can't do that. And the funniest part about that was the score of that game, the timing. It was just everything about it was bad.
I mean, it cost him the game. He literally missed the extra point. Mississippi State wins the Egg Bowl. I believe it was 21-20. Elijah Moore was the player who caught the touchdown pass and then acted like a dog peeing on the goalpost. Got his penalty, got a penalty on him, pushed his extra point kicker back, and he missed it.
Missed it bad.
Excited for the Illibut game, but we have some big tests before that one to worry about. Clint Moses, I forgot to read this. Oregon player spit on Ohio State player. People don't forget. Yeah, but I mean, it's not like they could stop Ohio State from scoring, so I'm not going to fault them. That one I understand. When you go out and get absolutely obliterated in the first quarter and a half, and you're out of the game, and you're the number 1 seeded team in the college football.
No, he did that in Eugene because he got ejected.
Was that
That's the one in Eugene. That's the one that had
okay?
Watson. Yeah.
Okay.
And everybody was like, but he got burned badly by the dude he spit on, Smith.
Illini Teds is excited for the Illabuck game, but we have some big tests before that one to worry about. Absolutely. But hey, Illinois looked good. We're going to talk about them coming up here. Sean says Baylor has zero defense. That's true. Baylor's defense is not good, but I don't want to undersell SMU's offense.
No, their offense was like, that's the thing is like, you want to go, oh, well, their defense is so bad. Well, SMU's offense, like, I mean, he had 16 completions for almost 300 yards. Like, doesn't matter how bad you are. He's pretty darn accurate. He only had 6 incompletions and 1 was a pick. 5 balls touched the ground. It's like, that's actually pretty good.
Mr. Sip with the $9.99 super chat. He enjoys that Elijah Moore.
He enjoyed it.
I'm sure he enjoyed it. He's laughing. So
I enjoyed it. When you started saying all-time blunders, I was like, you got it. I almost was like, Moen, that's a Mississippi player. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's one of those great pieces of college football memorabilia. I guess he plays for the Buffalo Bills now. He had 1 reception for 3 yards this past week. I don't think there's going to be a lot of value for an Elijah Moore autographed rookie card numbered 48 out of 50. But we'll see. I'm getting it framed anyway, regardless.
You got to get it framed. That's a good one.
I'm getting it framed. It's one of those things that I love. I love college football memorabilia, even if it's not Ohio State stuff. Give me something with a good story behind it. Moen, that is hilarious. I can just picture him pretending to pee on the goalpost. That's hilarious. Absolutely. Talk about dumb penalties. What I ought to really try and do is track down cards of like the kid from Florida who did the cleat yeet. Just find the dumbest penalties in college football history.
Collection.
And collect them and mount them all in a frame with some little, photo of the cleat yeet.
I mean, you gotta have Jake Locker on there when he threw the football straight up in the sky on a touchdown that cost Washington 15 yards and missed the game-winning extra point or game-tying extra point. I mean,
yeah,
good one too.
Strange penalties.
Fatal
Jedi 2672 says, "What up, guys? Go Noles!"
Like Rock, he was celebrating that loss by Florida this week.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know if they like winning more or just watching Florida lose more.
I feel like Miami and Florida State fans both won this week twice.
Becky, that game is going to be really tough, especially because we have Ohio State the week before. But you guys do get Ohio State at home.
Yeah, you're not on the road and then on the road again.
CFB peek around the corner with Greg Flugar says, "May God have mercy on Buckeye souls on October 4th because beloved Golden Gophers will not."
Wait, what was the last time Minnesota beat Ohio State?
I
mean, it's a solid question. I have to ask because
did Glenn Mason do it, Greg? Was it Glenn Mason? Was he the last one that? Was there a really bad Ohio State team that Minnesota upset? Boy, I can't remember. Greg, I got to be honest with you, dude. I've been watching college football since the 1980s, and I can't remember the last time Minnesota beat Ohio State. I can't remember the last time Indiana beat Ohio State. I don't know, but we'll see on October 4th, Greg.
I just looked. It was a 38-34 in 2010.
Okay. So who was a coach in 2010? That was not Glenn Mason.
No.
That had to be somebody else. Who was your coach in 2010, Greg? I got to know. Well, Greg, I think is trying to repress that memory. But
no, but I think their defense. He said no comment. Said was it Kill? Was it Jerry Kill? No.
No,
was Jerry Kill
you
after
might
that?
be right.
God, was Jerry Kill after that?
I'm
looking. I'm looking. I'm just saying, like, I think Minnesota's defense is good enough to slow down the Ohio State offense. But the question is, can the true freshman from Minnesota, can he handle what the Buckeyes are going to throw at him on the defensive side of the ball? Because they're going to disguise a lot of it.
Yeah, Greg.
Was Tim Brewster, who got fired,
yes,
and then Jeff Horton took over. So it was either Brewster or Horton.
Oh, Brewster was terrible. Brewster came to Ohio State under Urban Meyer. He was awful. Just awful. No wonder you don't want to remember that, Greg. I don't blame you.
Yeah, Glenn Mason was right before him.
Okay, so it was Glenn Mason, Tim Brewster, Jerry Kill to PJ Fleck. Or no, there was somebody after Jerry.
No, it was Tim Brewster with with Jeff Horton as the interim, Jerry Kill, Tracy Clays. I forgot about Clays because he was in between. He's in between.
Well, here you go, Greg. I will play you a little bit of the Minnesota fight song because you're not scoring on that Buckeyes defense, so you're probably not going to hear a lot of it on October 4th. But thank you for the super chat, sir. Fatal Jedi says after last season, winning matters more to Knowles. Hey, you've already hit the number ones you had last season, so one more and you're improving.
One more.
Says Tim. Yeah, I remember Tim Brewster was at a lot of places. There was a curse surrounding Tim Brewster there for a while.
Yeah, I never understood how he got that job.
I think he has naked pictures of somebody.
I mean, he was the interim head coach at Charlotte after they fired their coach last year. Who's now, by the way, that's the coach this week for Michigan, former Charlotte coach.
Biff Poggi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game. I just hope he has those kids ready to play that,
Yeah, I hope so.
Illinois dismantle the Devils. Again, this was my lock last week. I told you to bet this.
Yep.
And I was right. Illinois 45, Duke 19. Luke Altmaier, fantastic job. Just a really great quarterback. Seasoned trio of great running backs that they had there as well. Illinois ran for a staggering 358 rushing yards, their highest total in a road game since 2010. It doesn't seem right.
That's not right. No, they had 123 rushing yards.
I did my math wrong.
42 attempts.
Yes. I did my math wrong. Disregard that stat. But Illinois did crush the Devils, man. They went down there. They took care of business. They looked good doing it. Luke Altmaier, legit quarterback.
Think about it like this. Illinois ran the ball 42 times for 123 yards. They just ran the ball down their throat, and they only got like 2.9 yards a carry. That's an insane stat. Like, they just kept running and running and running.
It's Illinois dominated them. Rock put it great on Sunday. He said that was Manny Diaz, head coach I know and love. Just.
And I mean, Duke's breaking in a quarterback. Like they are breaking in some new stuff on offense. But
they are. But Manny Diaz, defensive coach, usually considered very stout defenses, and Illinois put 45 on them. And this goes back to what I always say. I think building culture is one of the most important things that a football program can do. as much as we make fun of Bert in the Big Ten, Bert knows how to build a winning football culture in Big Ten football.
And by the way, Duke fumbled the ball 4 times. They had 5 turnovers.
Yeah.
Like, this is literally, I think you're right. I think this is just literally what Bert wants to do. This is Wisconsin ball.
This is perfect for Big Ten. This is old Big Ten West football. I think Altmaier is a little more dynamic than most of the old Big West quarterbacks. So, but I mean, look, the guy has done wonderful at Illinois. Illinois was down for so long. The last time I can remember Illinois being really good was with Juice, when Ron Zook was the coach, the Fighting Zookers. Illinois, I've said it before, I think Illinois makes college football playoff. I think they're that third or fourth team coming out of the Big Ten to get a playoff spot.
I mean, they have a tough schedule in the Big Ten, but it's manageable.
It's manageable, yeah. I mean, look, they're not going to get – if they lose to Ohio State, they're not going to get penalized for that. Not penalized too strongly for that.
No. I mean, the 2 games they could lose, I think, in the conference – I mean, they've got Indiana, Ohio State, and Washington, along with USC's at home. They're at Indiana, home with Ohio State, at Washington. They could lose 2 of those games, and I think they'd still be okay for a playoff spot. They just can't lose all 4.
Illini Ted says, opportunistic Illinois, Duke actually outplayed us. I'm going to disagree with you here, Ted. It wasn't just opportunistic Illinois. That is a well-coached defense, Illinois.
Yeah.
They go towards the ball. They fly to the ball. Illinois' got a legitimate defense. Now, you can make the argument, Duke's offense did more yardage and more damage but look at the final score.
They had to.
Yeah, all those yards. Yeah, all those yards, and they got 19 points out of it. So, I think Illinois outplayed Duke. Biff got fired after USF beat them 59-24 last season. I'm sorry, any guy named Biff. It's just a joke. Sean says, I'm just saying is a good quarterback. Yeah, Julian saying is a good quarterback. And I liked the fact that this week they let him open it up. They let him get more in there, throw some balls. He did have a pick, but other than that one pick, he was basically perfect. I think he ended up being 15 of 16 with one pick. We ended up getting 3 quarterbacks, I think, total to play in there. Our receivers looked good. Carnell Tate looked good. Smith, I mean, The question remains the running situation. Can these running backs start hitting the holes better and start
still
getting
not running
more?
The ball well? Yeah, I would agree. I think Ohio State's still not running the ball as well as they should be.
And it's tough. You lose 2 NFL running backs, so
NFL running backs, a little bit of a rebuilt old line in spots.
Illini Ted says an alum just pledged $100 million to the athletic department today, mostly for football. So it will now be called Guys Memorial Stadium. I think that's Giles. Is that Giles?
That's like Guys. I think it's pronounced Guys.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's what success will do for you. Everybody loves a winner. Everybody loves a winner.
They're building like a football center or something like that with it, adjacent to the stadium. I think that's what I saw. So, I mean, if you, again, this is something like you're like, oh, this is awesome. But, you got Otis Geese. You've got something like, I mean, if Illinois ever played Oklahoma State, Gundy might bitch. Give them $100 million to build facilities, and we can't get anything.
Well, I got to tell you what, Oklahoma State's going to have to play Kansas at some point, and then he's really going to bitch because that $300 million gift was, quite Quite
It looks good,
impressive.
too. And it looks good too.
Moving on, Bulldogs bite back.
This was a good one.
This was a good one. I had Arizona State to win the Big 12 this year. They still have a shot at it. Cannot figure out what was going on that last play in the Arizona State secondary. Let that guy get wide open. And, Mississippi State just dropped it in there and ended the game.
Yeah, it was just like, I mean, I've not seen anybody that wide open on that route in a long time. Like, it's just, God, I mean, the guy was like 20 yards away from him and like 10 yards behind.
Yeah, it was. I just don't know if it was a mismatch or somebody just missed an assignment, but big congratulations to Mississippi State. That is a huge statement win for Mississippi State. Big 12. That Arizona State was a playoff team last year, guys. Sam Leverett, returning quarterback. They got up. Mississippi State got up early. Arizona State came back. Mississippi State, they could have got down on themselves. They could have really been disappointed and just let that game slip through their fingers. They did not do that. They kept fighting until the very end, and Arizona State said, by all means.
I mean, it's not a good loss overall for the Big 12 because Mississippi State's not a good SEC team. It's not an okay SEC team. That's typically on the bad side of things. Though they're going to be okay this year probably, but like that's a 6-win team. I mean, that's win number 7.
I think
this is the toughest non-conference game they had.
I think along with just an evening of the playing field in the Power 4 conferences, I think you're going to see a lot more mid-tier teams that would be considered low tier, like Mississippi State, Northwestern, Purdue, Rutgers. I think you're going to see them start improving too, because now they can spend money on players, and
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, overall, this is
right. Mississippi State is not a powerhouse in the SEC, but it will be interesting to see if they can beat Florida. If Mississippi State beats Florida, it's going to be really hard not to fire Billy Napier. The boosters may show up on campus and just demand it.
I don't think he won't get tarmacked. He's going to get tunneled.
He
may not make it past. He may not make it past the end zone before they fire him.
That's He might get fired in front of the sideline reporter at the end of the game.
Credit where credit's due with Mississippi State. Their defense never really broke. It bent. It gave up the 20 points. They got down. I mean, they were up. I was like, oh God, they were up 7-0 quick, and I was like, oh boy. But Arizona State didn't give up. They stuck with what they do best. They ran. I mean, look at the running. They ran the ball down Mississippi State's throat. Now, how many SEC schools give up, 200 plus yards rushing and win? Doesn't happen. If you do that against most SEC schools, you're going to beat them. Like in Alabama or Georgia, even when Alabama had Nick Saban, if you ran the ball for 200 yards on him, he's going to fire his defensive coordinator like midway through the game after he has a Krakatoa like explosion on the guy. You're just holding on to the football. You're going to beat those teams, but you can't leave a guy wide open.
I can't help but think Mike Leach was looking down, loving that final play.
That looked like a Mike Leach play.
That looked like a Mike Leach play where somebody just completely missed an assignment through some trickeration. Great job by the quarterback from Mississippi State, too. Almost 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Pretty good.
He did. He handled the pressure. He got sacked 3 times. He handled that well.
Sean said hearing the cowbells again was awesome. Absolutely. Everybody loves an underdog story.
Need more cowbell.
Yeah. Got to have more cowbell.
Gotta have more cowbell.
I'm happy that OU taught Michigan that cheaters don't always prosper. Now I can't wait for Nebraska's turn to teach Michigan that cheaters won't prosper in the long run. Okay, Nebraska
All right.
Steve, let's see it get done.
Gotta do it now.
Talking about Luke Fickell a lot. Matt Rule's got a lot he's got to prove this year too.
I mean, if Dime Store Mahomes is going to do something, that's the game to do it. I'm going to keep calling him that because he keeps looking like Patrick Mahomes shaved his head recently. I don't know if you noticed that.
I didn't think I could dislike Patrick Mahomes more, and then the State Farm commercial with Meghan Trainor. It's
I can't keep watching that.
I can't stand it. I mean, I
can't
will
stand it. I mute that thing and I walk away.
So do I.
Yeah.
Bad. Just bad. Nebraska Steve says, I bet Florida now regrets firing Dan Mullen.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I would think so. This is way worse than anything that I ever saw Dan Mullen do.
Yeah, Dan Mullen had the same record through 40 games, I think, as who was it? It was either Meyer or Spurrier. And they fired him. But I mean, they had to because he was getting in trouble for recruiting violations.
Yeah.
People don't know he now plays for Colorado, but a former player here in Washington State. Dan Mullen got caught doing some things and was banned from recruiting and like actually going to visit recruits for the rest of the year. So yeah, they had no choice. They were getting in a lot of trouble. So
Daniel Gayak says the Big 12 had a lot of bad losses this past weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna get into another one.
Mr. Sips says running back is an underrated position. Look at Boise and ASU this year. You're right. Scattaboo and Genty, those guys were workhorses, man.
I mean, Boise State looked like they forgot how to run the ball against USF.
Yeah, that's what worries me about Ohio State. It's tough having Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins in the backfield, and now Donaldson, which they've trimmed Donaldson down, and Peoples is still there. We'll see if they can get it figured out.
I'm like, does USF play Tulane this year? Because I think that game's I think that in Ohio will end up being the teams that would be the G6 rep this year.
USF does not play Tulane in the regular season. USF and Tulane could very well, and we have Tulane in our picks this week. They're playing Duke, if you didn't know. Tulane and USF could very well go undefeated into that championship game, and the G6 could get two teams in.
I mean, I'm looking at it, Moen, after Miami. Like, they might lose to Miami, but they're not going to lose again. They're not losing again. Charlotte. I mean, they got FCS team as South Carolina State, but then Charlotte, North Texas, FAU, Memphis. UTSA is not good this year. Navy, UAB, Rice. Yeah, no, they're going undefeated.
Mr. Sip says Utah looking good this year. Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
they are.
Amazing what you can do when you get an offensive coordinator that's innovative.
Yeah.
Get rid of the stagnant stuff.
When you get rid of your 66-year-old quarterback, Cam Rising.
Yeah.
USF ran for 206 yards versus Alabama in that 2025 game. It was close until midway in the fourth. And we all know.
Oh, he's talking about last year. Yeah. Or 2 years ago.
Towtown Hawk says it's official. We were robbed. I have changed my mind. Official suspended equals Missouri cheats. Weren't they Big 12 officials, Towtown Hawk?
Right.
Do you think Missouri had some kind of inside old school Big 12 ties to those officials? No, listen, I had Kansas. I picked Kansas. I wanted Kansas to win. Kansas was up big early. Got to defend the lead, man. Got to defend the lead. Everybody loves a winner except Stanford. They like to make bettors losers. You're damn right they do. Because
remember, Good teams win. Great teams
That's
cover.
right. And Andrew Luck, you owe me $600, pal. And you too, Frank Reich. Why don't you leave a $600 super chat on here? Because you owe me money on that one. Utah, TCU, Tech. I agree. That's what would be best for the Big 12. No, we play Memphis and Navy. Yeah, but I don't think Memphis and Navy are going to be any. I think USF is dynamic enough to get around both of those schools.
I mean, I'll be blunt. Florida would blow out both of those schools. I don't think they're that good. Navy's had some struggles this year.
Mr. Monkey says, waiting for a Kansas-Missouri discussion. And I know I tell you this a lot, Mr. Monkey says, but that is an ape in your profile picture, not a monkey. I'm glad the Big 12 is making officials accountable for their mistakes. Absolutely. That is good to see.
Yeah,
I don't think it changed the game.
Yeah, it's not changing the game, but
I don't think it changed the game, but we'll see. But we will get to that game. That is in the 10. Next one, Ohio Bobcats. Out West Virginia. This was in Athens. Virginia did not look good. Despite Ohio QB Parker Navarro throwing 3 interceptions, the Bobcats still doubled West Virginia in time of possession, controlling the ball for almost 40 minutes. Not a good game for West Virginia.
This was brutal to watch. Can I just say that out loud? This might have been the most brutal game I have ever watched.
Yeah,
this one sucked.
It wasn't a fun game. You're right.
And I was stupid, and I watched like a replay of it, so I could say I watched it. I'd never do that again. This game was.
I just heard reports from what happened down the road in Athens. So the kids were ecstatic. So,
oh God, did they? I'm like, how far did they take the goalpost?
I don't think they took the goalposts.
They take the goalposts this time?
No, I don't think they took the goalposts. But
I mean, they did against Iowa State. They're just like trucking that thing down.
Yeah.
Let me just say this: Big 12 schools, stop playing in Athens, Ohio.
And let me just say this: Wild Ute was disrespecting the MAC and MACtion.
He was.
By the way, Wild Ute, this is your conference, the Big 12. I know they're not your team.
It's your conference.
This is what happens when you disrespect the MAC, man. You got to realize that they've got good teams in the MAC. They've got good coaches in the MAC. Ohio, defending MAC champion, goes in, upsets. West Virginia comes in. They upset West Virginia. Congratulations to the Ohio Bobcats. I don't think they're going to have that much success this weekend.
No.
But congratulations to the Ohio Bobcats. Congratulations to the kids in Athens. I know you partied it up on Saturday night. I'm happy for you. I was happy for you last year when you guys won that MAC championship. Congratulations to the Ohio Bobcats.
What's the over-under on the over-under this week is 51 and a half.
Yeah, I was going to say the spread today, the last time I checked, was 31 and a half.
Yeah,
Ohio
30
State.
and a half. Yeah, it's 30 and a half now. So
okay,
a little bit of money going toward Ohio to cover. Look, West Virginia played like dog shit a week earlier, and they managed to win because they were playing a far worse opponent. They couldn't do that this time. And if they play like this week, they're gonna God. Oh my God.
I think they're gonna get I think Pitt easily covers this week.
Yeah. Pitt's gonna win by a touchdown without a problem.
Yeah. But again, West Virginia fans, got to let Rich Rod get his guys in there to run the kind of system he runs.
Yeah. I also want to say this. By the way, Big 12 schools are playing at MAC schools. That's weird. SMU is traveling to Missouri State this week. So that's even weirder because they were an FCS program this time a year ago.
Yeah, and Athens to Morgantown, West Virginia is only like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's easy travel, whether Ohio's playing at Morgantown or West Virginia's playing at Athens.
Yeah, so. They probably bust in, most likely.
Yeah.
It's so close, it's 90 minutes, but still.
Yeah, they definitely bust in. Now talking about shit teams in the Big Ten.
Yeah, let's talk
UCLA played UNLV. They lost. They lost bad.
This game was never close, by the way. The score says close. It's not close.
Yeah. UNLV pulled off the upset, did not complete a single pass in the entire fourth quarter of the game.
Yeah. Their offensive line is so bad. Like, Nico's snap, and he's getting popped. It is so bad. Couldn't block anything. The fact that they only sacked him twice, I think it was, 3 times, is like a miracle. Because the dude could not, he ended up, time.
Yeah, and he ended up, despite being sacked twice, he ended up with 59 rushing yards. Yes, he threw it for another 255. He did have an interception, but he has no help.
Nothing.
This is let's buy a $3 million quarterback and give him nothing and see how that turns out.
So it's like, we're waiting for all of the guys to come on campus next year.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, don't just let Nico, because I'm telling you, he's getting whooped. He's getting beat up.
He's getting beat up.
And with his running style, somebody rolls into it awkward. That man loses an ACL, gets his ACL torn. There's all kinds of potential injuries. Those guys will be on campus next year without Nico Iamaleava.
I want to point this out. They were like a double-digit favorite.
Yes, they were.
They are a double-digit favorite this week as well against New Mexico, who, by the way, played Michigan tough.
Yeah. It's bad in UCLA right now. It's really bad, and I'm going to say it. I thought Deshaun Foster, I thought that was going to be a breath of fresh air when he got in there at UCLA. He's a player's coach, but apparently that's not what they need there. I don't know. I think maybe they fire him at the end of the season.
I don't know if he lasts the whole season.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. They are starting to take football very seriously in Westwood. They're not going to sit back and let him just sink this because, it's bad. I thought, okay, well, last year's offense, is it Eric Bieniemy or whatever?
Yeah.
Comes down from the NFL, and he had the best passing attack in the NFL. You're like, oh, that should translate to UCLA. It didn't. They sucked. And then he fires him basically, or he says, oh, I'm leaving. I only wanted to do 1 year. And it's like, no, you got fired. Brings in another offensive coordinator. He brought in a quarterback who, I'll say this, his dad gave a ton. Did you see the comment?
Oh, yeah.
The App State kid's dad, who's now at Tennessee. And it's like, oh, he's like, I'm glad we're here. And, love the fans and love the stats. And you're like, yeah, you couldn't have those stats at UCLA.
No.
It wouldn't have mattered. Tennessee didn't win the trade. UCLA is just bad.
It's a culture issue.
I thought they were going to be so much better though, Moen, and I got caught up in that. I'm mad.
It's a culture issue. I think Foster needs to be moved out of there. I said it would be great if the dysfunction continues at Cal for UCLA to not only leave Cal behind, but to go ahead and take Wilcox away from him too, and make him the new head coach because, hey, he can coach defense. You get an offensive guy to come in there, Jason Candle at Toledo, turn things around, man. But I'm telling you,
I don't know where they'll even go if they did fire him. I'll be honest. I'm trying to think. They could always go out to. If I was them, I would suck it up and pay whatever it costs to get Mullen out of UNLV. Because I think they could do it. But I don't know where they could go. There's just
Maybe.
nothing. There's nothing out
Maybe.
there. You're like,
And UNLV struggled the first game under Mullins. So I mean,
maybe they go to like Oregon and take a coordinator.
Well, Oregon fans, Dan Lanning, that name's going to be mentioned about 15 different job openings this offseason, especially if Napier's out, if Alabama slides back and they fire Kalen DeBoer this season.
If they fire DeBoer, if Alabama fired DeBoer, UCLA is going to snatch him up like quick.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm not saying Kalen DeBoer won't have a place to land, but listen, we were talking about it on Sunday. There was a lady in Alabama. She said if she won the Powerball jackpot, she was going to give Alabama the $70 million for Kalen DeBoer's buyout.
I mean, I just said like that's not a hire that they like, but like Deshaun Foster's an alum at UCLA. I have nightmares of him running all over my Huskies. He might still be running in that game if it didn't have to end. He felt like you said, fresh breath air, or fresh air.
Players coach.
Good. He's a players coach. He's coming from the NFL, recently from the NFL, and I was like, they hired him, they kept him, and I was like, that's good because they kept all their core guys. They didn't have a lot of guys transfer. I was like, oh, that's smart. This is a team that won, a bunch of games for Chip Kelly. They got a chance. No, but yeah, I think Jim Mora would probably come back to UCLA. By the way, Jim Mora, I think, is the only one that's had a winning season since 1998, where he won more than 9 games. That's it.
I believe it. I believe it. What was a worst first year coach G6 loss? Alabama in Saban's first year, or West Virginia in Rich Rod's first year losing to Ohio? I would say the Nick Saban losing to ULM. I don't, guys. Ohio's a good team. They won the MAC championship last year. They are a good team. It's not like West Virginia lost to some directional school from like Middle Tennessee State University. They lost to Ohio
State University of Los Angeles.
They lost. They lost to the champion of the MAC last year.
Yeah,
they lost to a G6 champion. ULM, as far as I know, they were not champion of their conference when Nick Saban lost there.
No, they were bad. They were bad.
And I'm just going to say this right now: Alabama's talent level was far above ULM. I think WVU, with the injuries, I think their talent level is on par with
Didn't Saban win a national title a year later?
Yeah. I mean, that's
like, it just takes a minute. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I think people keep thinking this is the Ohio teams from like 10 years ago, where they'd be like 66-0 drubbings to, everybody in the Big Ten, but like, they got good guys. They got really good. And it's all because of that Iowa State
and they lost their coach. They've got a new coach this year. Yeah. Guys, West Virginia has 77 new players, absolutely, and they're all learning a new system. It's going to take Rich Rod time.
That's why I keep telling West Virginia people, I'm like, we had like 80 new players last year. Just relax. It takes, like, you're going to have ups and downs, and we didn't win a single road game last year. Washington was undefeated at home. We never won on the road. So
Justin R says the SMU Missouri State Series is a home and home. It was scheduled while SMU was a G5 team. And
Missouri State was a freaking FCS program. They were going to go to an FCS school. You're in Power 4 us. You start acting like that's when you buy out.
Maybe bringing in Nico caused some problems in the locker room. I don't know.
I don't think that's it.
I don't think that's the problem.
Bob, I'll be blunt. Watch them play, and you'll understand what I'm saying. They suck in the trenches on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Nico is their offense.
Yeah,
And
without
that's
him,
it. It's him.
It's him. They don't have anything. They don't have all their wide receivers have transferred. I think one of them's at like Florida State now. Like they're not good. Just not good. And the good, like what's funny though, and I say this, Moen and I joke about this all the time. They're gonna have 6 guys drafted off this damn team.
Yep. Absolutely.
And they're gonna be in the first 4 rounds. Like it's not gonna make any goddamn sense. So,
yeah. There's talent at UCLA. It's just again, I think this is a coaching situation. If Sean Foster gets fired, could you see UCLA? You mentioned this, UCLA bringing back Jim Mora, like Rutgers brought back Greg Schiano.
The only name I've heard them mention because like the alumni loved him, they didn't want him fired in the first place, but they had a shot at Chip Kelly, so they took it.
Yeah.
Former
maybe
Husky Jim Mora, by the way. Former Husky.
But maybe they do. Hey, it's worked out for Rutgers. Schiano's built that program to where, they've made some bowl games.
I just think they need to find a guy who can, 1, recruit, 2, can coach. And I think like Tosh Ploy, I think he's a great coach. I think what he's doing at Oregon is impressive. He did it at Alabama, he did it at Washington. Every stop, the dude is really, really good at what he does. Like you see, and he's a D-line coach at heart. Like they need to do something like that where they just get a guy who can rebuild, and then they give them a little bit of time, and I think they'll be fine. But Sean Foster has lost it.
Sean says they're in the Big Ten. There's no reason to play good football. No, but you got to play winning football.
Yeah, you got to win.
Win ugly.
I will say this. Everybody is complaining right now about Michigan State playing at 8 o'clock Pacific time, 11 o'clock Eastern, right, Moen?
Yeah.
If UCLA continues to play this poorly, guess what time everybody's going to be playing UCLA?
I'm telling you right now.
I'm telling you.
We didn't have Michigan State. Michigan State, Boston College just barely missed on this list this week. If you did not see it, go back and watch some of the highlights. Childs is a playmaker.
Oh.
Reminds me of Troy Smith a lot. Gets, he'll have guys around his feet, grabbing his feet, and he'll jump out of it and do a double backspin and throw a 40-yard pass. Now he didn't make any mistakes this past week either. No turnovers. They don't really have a great defense at Michigan State yet, but I'm telling you, Childs is
the real deal.
He's good.
I think we were both impressed with him. I'm like, from last year to this year, I'm like, oh my God. Next year,
just watch the highlights. I mean, it's one of those things where he's just a playmaker.
Yep. Him and Damon Williams are the two that I'm like, Michigan State and Washington are going to have to start like forking out some cash because those two guys are going to be like, everybody's going to go after.
Yeah.
They're both ridiculous. But Childs he just owns that offense, and it's like, good God. Can you imagine? He was almost at Oregon State.
Yeah.
He'd been in the G6.
He is he's an incredible quarterback, and they've done a good job at Michigan. You go back and look at him last year, lots of mistakes.
Looked like a freshman.
This year he just has some incredible plays. I think when he's a junior he'll be even more seasoned, but that man is a playmaker. I definitely think that happened, Bob. Regarding they were 8-5 last year. That's what I meant by my Nico comment.
Who's that?
He's talking about UCLA.
Oh, they weren't 8-5 last year, were they? No.
They may have been.
They may. Oh yeah, they might have been.
I think
they were 5. They were 5-7. I thought they missed out on a bowl game. They missed because they lost to Washington. They lost to USC. Yeah, they were 5-7.
Yeah, 5-7. Okay.
I was like, I knew that it was close because at the end of the year they had
a weak schedule last year.
Yeah,
like last year was their weak schedule in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Moving on to our final game here, guys. Here you go. The Kansas fans wanted this. Mizzou wins the border war. Kansas 31, Missouri 42. Missouri trailed early, down 21-6, then erased that deficit with a dominant 106 to 18-yard advantage in the second quarter. I don't know, Kansas. You had the momentum. Kudos to Missouri. They did not stop. Over 300 yards passing. No interceptions, 3 touchdowns. Daniel's not so fortunate. Yeah, Daniel's not so fortunate. 223 yards passing and a pick. And he was their leading rusher as well. Kansas really couldn't move the ball on the ground against Mizzou in this game. And Mizzou definitely moved the ball on the ground against Kansas in this game. But Kansas was up early. They had a shot at this. And Mizzou figured out the answer and was able to erase that deficit and win.
Here's the thing. Sam Horn was the returning starter. If I'm at quarterback, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, he's gone now. Like he broke his foot. He's done for the year. I think he's medically redshirting. But this kid just I cannot pronounce his name.
Pribula.
He just stepped up. He made plays. Look, 30 of 39 is insane. Just saying it out loud. 334, and then the fact that they ran for 170 yards on you. But this game was Kansas still had a chance to win, and then they gave up that 63-yard rushing touchdown.
Yeah, I was going to say they
left. I was like, "What are you doing?"
They had over 250 rushing yards against Kansas. So I mean, Kansas could not stop the run. And listen, Eli Drinkwitz is a great coach. I think he was the perfect hire for Missouri. He's done well. He's done a lot with a little. Mizzou is not one of the top tier SEC teams, as it were. Just a couple years ago, though, they were playing Ohio State. They were, I believe, 10-2.
Yep.
Playing Ohio State in that game. And they won that game.
They won 10 games last year.
Yeah. Yeah, the last SEC team to beat Ohio State for trivia was Mizzou. And Mr. Monkey brings it up. KU was up with 9 minutes left.
Yeah.
You got to defend the lead.
Got it. You couldn't stop the pass. You couldn't do it, but your pass rush was good. You just needed to, hold guys and defend. I feel bad for Jane Daniels because he's so talented. And nobody stepped up. Nobody stepped up.
Yeah, and I mean, look, you mentioned it. A 63-yard rush, a 32-yard rush.
Yeah.
Those are backbreakers. And then getting outgained 186-18 in the second quarter. That's rough. That's rough. You get it. You got up. You got the lead. I think they kind of let off the gas a little bit.
I think so too.
And I think Mizzou was able to come back. And again, Daniels, I think, is a fantastic quarterback, dual threat. But he can't do everything.
No.
Can't do everything. And when your other running back has 11 total yards, you've got to throw every play.
I mean, it was 35 or 34 to 31, something like that. Right around 2 minutes left. You're coming out of the timeout, and then one play, boom.
Yep. Backbreak.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, you can't do that there. You guys have to actually. I mean, it was so fast. I was like, anybody could have hit that hole and been gone.
It reminded me a lot of the touchdown run in the Oklahoma-Michigan game.
Yeah.
It was just, there was nobody prepared for it, and it just happened. And after that happened, I mean, that was the backbreaker. But I mean, I do give Kansas credit. They were up early. They came ready to play. A lot of people, you know how it is, SEC people, Big 12 doesn't, measure up with us. And unfortunately, that proved true this weekend. But Kansas, Arizona State, they played tough games. They were both in the games to win the games late. Just couldn't hold on. But
I mean, I'm astonished by how poorly they played late. Like, just at times, Kansas offense vanished at times. Just was like, oh, it's gone. And then all of a sudden it's like bang, bang, bang. And you're like, all right, hey, we're back in this.
Yeah. But again, the rushing attack. I mean, you cannot give up 250 rushing yards.
You can't run for 28 yards. You can't run for 28 yards.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You gotta maintain the ball, and you can't keep the ball.
Yeah, they have no reason to fear that you're going to run on them. Guess what? They're not going to load the box. They're going to be all in the secondary, and they're going to be all over people, and that leads to interceptions, and that's what happened. It also allows the defensive line to pin their ears back and just go after the QB, and that led to 3 sacks. So
yeah, I was like, if Jaden Daniels wasn't more mobile,
it would have been worse.
It would have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
If he was Drew Bledsoe back there, it would have just been horrible because they could not block because they couldn't run.
Yeah. Hey, look, I give it up to the Kansas Jayhawks. Valiant effort. They came to play. They'll get them next time.
Yep. Such a good game, though. This was a fun one to watch, but I was like, all right, hey, they've just got to get them to the 2-minute timeout here. We're good to go. They've got 3 timeouts. Done.
This game reminded me a lot of the Baylor SMU game.
Yeah.
It was a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of offensive explosion. But listen, you've got to be able to stop the run, and Kansas just couldn't get it done.
Could not at all.
Mr. Monkey says his game was lost on line of scrimmage. Absolutely.
Yes, it was.
They just got pushed around.
Surrounded both sides.
Yeah.
I mean, it's debilitating when you're like, oh, we're going to run the ball, 20 times here. How many yards you get? 30.
Yeah, that's
brutal.
That's not going to, I mean, and if you can't win it up front, then jet sweep, man. Try and do something. Get on the edge.
You have a team that's like the D line now can, just go, okay, we're free rushing now to the quarterback because they can't run. Run a screenplay, do something, keep them honest.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah. Get it to the outside, get it to the speed players. You got to do something. But yeah, I agree. Mr. Monkey says the game was lost on the line of scrimmage for Kansas Mizzou, but it was a good game.
It was.
Sean says Nebraska beat a bad Cincinnati team. Not only did they beat them, they failed to cover and made me eat Cincinnati chili. And I don't think I've eaten anything worse than that Cincinnati chili.
I mean, it could have been on a cinnamon roll.
Let's
ask Nebraska Steve. That's a Nebraska thing.
I put it on Twitter. I said, listen, if we fed every prisoner in America Skyline chili for every meal every day, crime rates would drop in this country.
Nothing like cinnamon covered noodles.
It is. And people I know from Cincinnati who swear by it, they can keep it. I don't want it. It's not chili. It's just meat and cinnamon and coriander, and it's not good. I melted about a pound of sharp cheddar on it. I poured a bottle of sriracha sauce on it. It was awful. It's awful.
Well, I mean, none of you have to eat the durian fruit, so there's
I don't have to eat the durian fruit.
Yeah,
that's not me.
You's gonna eat that.
Yeah, we're gonna try and get you to do the ass fruit challenge.
And if anybody doesn't know, durian fruit smells like a rotting. It smells like a rotting shoe.
But for those who also don't know, durian A lot of people say it's one of the greatest tasting foods on the planet Earth.
They're from Southeast Asia and they've been eating it since they were born.
Not true. Not true. I've seen tourists do tastings of it who say it's amazing. It is called the king of fruits. Has a texture like no other, a taste like no other.
I have had it, and not a goddamn way I'd ever try it again.
I desperately want to try it. I don't have any Asian markets near me to where I could get one. But they actually sell it now in plastic containers, so you don't even have to peel it. It's just the fruit. I think they do take the seeds out.
They do.
It's just a slice of fruit, and I guess a lot of the smell comes from the skin interior. So I would like to try it, but I will make sure I try it.
I will say this: there's a reason why it's banned. There's a reason why it's banned on airlines in Southeast Asia. There's a reason for it. Like banned, even in a Tupperware container, you're gonna smell it. Like
I've heard. It's pungent, but it tastes amazing.
I grew up. My next door neighbors, the house next door, they were from Cambodia, and one of my friends, Shrep, she still eats it like crazy to this day, and I won't go over to her house when she has it. To this day, I can't go over to her house, and I'm like, "Is that in? Are you eating that?" She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I'll see you later."
Let's see if we can't get you to do it. I would do it if I could find it, but I would not do it in the house. I definitely would have it.
I would send it to you guys if I know I could get it there without it going bad. So I'm sure they have it in Cincinnati.
They probably have it in Columbus because there's a big Asian.
They definitely have it in
Columbus. I would probably have to go to Columbus to track it down.
Yeah.
Nebraska Steve says, "Go Big Red." Yeah, go Big Red. Try and cover the spread. Come on. Screwing people over here. Ever watch Bizarre Foods? Andrew Zimmerman will eat anything but not durian.
Yeah. I sent the link to you, and I was like, this Andrew Zimmer won't eat it.
Stink bombs should be banned. I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to try and make a deal with you. If you will eat it, I will eat it. But to be fair, I just do want to try it. Just say, hey, I tried it.
I mean, it's an experience. It's
like
you said,
chili.
I mean, you might like it. Most I've only met like one person who liked it after they didn't try it as a child, but
it's going to be one of those things in life. I like I don't know. I like new experiences. I would like to try it just to see what it's like. But I know that you would dislike it, and you're probably right. I think it'd be funny to watch you try and get it down.
I just want to see you have to stomach that.
I don't know. I managed to keep that whole plate of spaghetti and Skyline chili and cheese down.
We watched him struggle with MD 2020, and
that's true.
That's not good tasting, but
yeah, I don't want to say anything, but I shot a video with you a couple weeks ago, and the man, when he joined the studio, he was listening to Maroon 5. So,
that says everything.
Yeah, he might not be able to handle durian. Tawtown Hawk says, "Hi Becky, sorry I did not say hello on my call Saturday."
Well, I mean, he couldn't have heard me anyway. So.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to hear him anyway. Trust me, I've done the phone system to where everybody can hear everybody. Tawtown Hawk. It is a convoluted series of apps and working microphones, and it's tough. It's tough. Nate thought he had it figured out. I told Nate he did not have it figured out. Nate found out he did not have it figured out. But there's a Jayhawk squawk for you. Remember, the Jayhawks will rise again.
What is a Jayhawk?
It's a
is it a real bird?
Probably not. Probably not. Well, it might. You know what? It might be a nickname for a hawk that attacks jaybirds.
Oh, it's a mythical bird that combines characteristics of a blue jay and a hawk.
Well, there you go.
They couldn't basically they couldn't decide on a mascot.
I would definitely try it. Why not? There you go.
I like I said, I would. You want to try it, but I would not buy a whole thing of it. It's gonna be
I would get one of the little plastic containers.
Because it's not a small fruit, guys. It's like the size of a football. Like it's not tiny.
It's huge and it's hard to cut up. That's why I was saying I would just buy the pre-shrunk one at the Asian market, and they're usually frozen too. So,
I wouldn't even know if I'd do it. Thawing it out would be horrendous.
Well, I think transporting it without being thawed out would be horrendous.
Yeah, that's true too.
Jay Hawker goes back to the Civil War. Absolutely. Tar Heel does as well. Blue Jay plus Sparrowhawk. So there you go. There's the exact combination.
All I know is it's got killer legs.
All I know is they squawk. And Rock Chalk Jayhawk. I want to thank everybody for joining us this week on The Take. Appreciate everybody who came in, those who contributed. Jacobra Cat, Mr. Sip, Peek Around the Corner with Greg Flugar, Town Hawk. Thank you guys so much for giving us some super chats and joining us tonight and talking about the 10 games that, I don't know, I picked that I thought meant the most in college football this week. We will be back next week, hopefully with Sergeant Pickles. Becky, do you have any last call that you want to make here?
Yeah. Some news out of Washington State. They have beer now. They got approved today to start selling alcohol inside the stadium. That's banned in the student section, but the rest of the stadium, they can now sell it. So the biggest party school on the West Coast can now party in the stadium too. Good luck, everybody, because it's gonna be a lot. We used to have to go into the stadium, like you have to get wrecked, go into the stadium, sneak some in, but then you could leave, go back to your car, have a couple more at like halftime, and come back in the stadium. They don't let you. There's no re-entry anymore. So.
Yeah, listen, guys, you can put a hot water bottle full of whiskey in the small of your back and run the tube up your back, and then you can just I'm saying theoretically you could do this, theoretically.
Or you could wear a hoodie. If you do it just right, you can stick 2 beers in the hood. Just make sure you have someone hold it just right. Or you have a friend who's a little well endowed and she can carry them underneath some things.
Yeah. Or you can go to a Fish or Grateful Dead concert, and when they say they're selling cold beer, they are not selling cold beer. So, just FYI. Back to high school times. For myself, for Becky, thank you guys. We will see you next week. Until then, have a pleasant evening. Goodbye.